Hey guys, it's Leo, and I want to do something different for this anime season. I want to compile in one video lots of impressions on weekly episodes of lots of different shows. And I don't want to do a separate video for every single show I am going to watch. And so I decided to do this video in which I'm going to talk about different shows. And so if you are looking for a specific opinion on a specific show, I'm going to leave the timestamps below on the description box. You can just go there and jump right into the anime that you're following, the anime that you wanna see me talking about and that you want to discuss with me. I am going to cover in those weekly videos, I'm going to cover some shows. I don't know if I'm going to stick to all of them until the end, but for now, I'm covering 5 shows. Tokyo Ghoul Ray, the new Wixoss season, I forgot the name already, Cutie Honey, Persona 5, and Boueibu Happy Kiss. Those are the 5 shows that I'm covering, so if you are not following all of them and you want to see specific opinions, you can just go in the description box and jump to the timestamp that you want to see me talk about. Anyways, let's start with Tokyo Ghoul. So Tokyo Ghoul has a new season. It's called Tokyo Ghoul Rei, Tokyo Ghoul Hei, Tokyo Ghoul Ri. I have no idea how to speak this, but this is a new season. I don't think. It's a season based on the manga, right? The manga got a second season also, and now we have it on the anime. And I was very happy because I really enjoyed Tokyo Ghoul. I really liked the first season. The second one, not so much, but I was happy either way when we got the confirmation that we were going to have a new Tokyo Ghoul season. I mean, I was very into the story, into the characters and the scenario and the world they live in. So I was very curious because I haven't read the manga and I haven't read spoilers on the internet. Even though I know some of the things that are going to happen later on because of some polemic things that happened a while ago, I'm still a little bit in the dark on what's really going to happen in this show. And so I loved this first episode. This first episode ended up being very nice. I felt happy with what I saw. I liked the animation. I liked the art direction. And I also love the soundtrack, which is, for me, the strongest part of Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul has great songs all over the show, and especially Glassy Sky. Glassy Sky is my favorite, and it's like top 10 on my anime songs because it's such a great song. I love it so much. And then I felt like everything was in place, but I didn't really understand the story. I don't know if it's like this concept of the story being shown little by little, but I didn't really understand what was going on. We have like a different world from what we've seen in the second season of Tokyo Ghoul, especially the ending, because the ending was very it ended up in a climax part, and obviously they didn't start Ray when the second season ended. And so in this new season we focus a little bit more on the human side, I think, at least for now, because we have a new team of humans that are fighting against ghouls, and it's interesting because they use ghoul powers and they're called Quinks, right? And this name for me is very curious because I really want to know more about them, and I really want to know how they got those powers without actually turning into ghouls. And we have a new main character who's called Heisei, and something called my attention because at the end of the second season we had Kaneki as our main character, and then he kind of turned himself in. And I don't know what really happened to him, and I don't even know if they actually followed the manga in the second season, in the anime. And so I don't really know if that ending is correct from the manga standpoint, and Rei is actually following the manga, so I'm a little confused, and I don't know what happened to Kaneki. But I feel like I am very scared of Heisei being a human, a regular human, and he had some Kaneki organs implanted on him, just like Rize's organs were implanted on Kaneki while he was still human and he became half human, half ghoul, and they used the same tactics on Heisei so that he was able to become a Quinks. And that makes me very scary because I really want to see Kaneki. I really want to know what happened to him And I am rooting for him not to be dead, or not for him not to be a part of Heisei only, like a part of Heisei's consciousness. I really wanted to be like Kaneki is, this main character that I loved back then, and I really want to see more of him. Okay, jumping on to the next one, I have a notebook here that I wrote everything that I wanted to say. I'm not actually following very closely because I'm horrible at following scripts, but I have to read the name of the next anime because the Wixoss names are crazy. It's called Lostorage Conflated Wixoss. And it's the 4th Wixoss season, and I love Wixoss as a franchise. It's a very tough world in which they live in, and everything's very dramatic. And everything's, the characters, they suffer a lot. And I think that sometimes it's a little over the top, but I really like it because it takes itself seriously and it takes the characters' pain seriously as well. And so after 3 seasons, we have a new one, and it's interesting because the stories are divided. We have Selector as the first story with the 1st and 2nd seasons, and now we have Lostorage as the 3rd season and now the 4th one. But it seems to me that the 4th one is going to try to englobe everything, all of the characters since season 1, and that makes me happy. And so I felt like the first episode showed us a lot of Kiyoi, which was a very important character in the 3rd season, and Kiyoi was like the main character, I feel, but at the same time we also have Suzuko as being the main girl, and we also had Hana. Hana is my favorite. I love her, and I love how she always uses a word to englobe what she's going to say, or englobe the situation, to describe the situation. I feel like the person who writes Hana's dialogues must suffer a lot, because I don't think that's an easy thing to do. But anyway, this episode felt very dramatic, it felt gloomy, it felt a little silent, and we didn't jump right into battles. It felt like we were dealing with the aftermath of the 3rd season a little bit, and we have this new world in which the girls are not selectors anymore, and that's a good thing for them. But at the same time, things were not really closed up after the 3rd season, and we have some things that we have to deal with. The girls have to deal with, and especially with Carnival, who was a Ludig in the 3rd season, and now Carnival is a human. I mean, she took up that guy's personality. I don't remember the guy's name, obviously. And so we're now dealing with this, and I felt like this was very over the top because they were talking about how the Ludigs taking over humans are a bad thing because they can destroy the world, and Kiyoi was so worried. Even Hana said like, you're exaggerating, because this plot really feels a little bit unbelievable in the Wixoss sense of the word, because in the Wixoss logic, because I think that the biggest point about Wixoss is that it destroys people's lives when you're part of it, and the people around you maybe, but it doesn't really pose as a threat to the world itself. And now we see that the world can be taken over by the Ludigs, and I don't really feel the danger in this yet. So I hope that they explain it a little bit better. And so I watched the episode. I thought it was fine. I thought it was very good. I love this tone in anime in general. You know, this gloomy tone, this a little silent tone. I love watching those type of anime before I go to sleep. But the ending, I remember I was laid down, I was very relaxed, and I was almost sleeping until I saw the last scene. I jumped out of my bed. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Kiyoi met Ruko right at the end. Ruko, our dear protagonist from the 1st and 2nd seasons. I was like, no, or yes. I don't even know how my reaction was. And then we had the opening right at the end of the episode, and I was shocked when I saw the opening because we could see all those characters from the 1st season, 2nd season, 3rd season, and we saw Ruko, we saw Tama. I was mind blown. I was really mind blown. And I think this season is going to englobe everything. This is going to be the bomb. I think this season is going to be gorgeous. Really gorgeous. Jumping on to the next one I want to talk about is Cutie Honey universe. I did a video on Cutie Honey before talking about it, and I just want to say that I have never watched the Cutie Honey before. I never watched the movies, the live actions, the other animes, the movies, anything. OVAs, nothing. I haven't watched it. I just know it's a classic, and I thought, okay, this is a great time for me to jump in and watch it and learn more about it. But I don't know. This first episode was sexual. From start to finish, it was sexual. Everything about it was sexual. I think they turned everything into sex. They turned everything into... I'm not gonna call it fan service actually, because there were lots of fan service scenes, but I feel like they try to connect everything that happens into some sort of fetish or some sort of practice, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really know how I feel about that. I'm gonna say I'm not a person who has problems with adult themes, but I don't really like, and that's a personal thing, I don't think it's problematic, I don't like when they put comedy together with sexual themes. I just don't think they go well together. I don't laugh at sexual things like that. But it's a thing that I have. It's a problem that I have. So Cutie Honey has lots of comedy. And I feel like when I was watching it, I was surprised throughout lots of scenes because I didn't think it was that violent as well. Because you can see that it doesn't really take itself so seriously, but at the same time it does. And in some instances, it seems that it doesn't, but in some other instances, it seems that it does take itself very seriously. I'm gonna try to explain. Like the scenes at school, they're so bizarre that I don't believe that they're actually, you know, taking the scenario seriously. But when you come to actually Honey using her powers and going against the enemies, even though we have some kind of ridiculous scenes as well, I felt like I was a little confused with how they dealt with Honey's power and the villains. And I feel like, but in this part of the story, I feel like they take themselves very seriously. And I don't know how to explain that. That's just an impression that I have. And there were some things that were very good. The animation is top notch. It's, you know, the top of their game. It's very good. I also liked the opening. I thought they were going to use the classical song, but it's nice that they are using a different one. I know the classical song because Kodakumi sang it, and I like Kodakumi. And so I liked the opening song. The ending song didn't really leave an impact on me. I don't even remember it very well. But I liked the opening song a lot. I love the animation. I love all the colors. But I don't know how I feel about the sexual themes. I don't really know. And then we have lots of fan service as well. I just don't want to call it fan service all the time because I think they're a little different. And while I was watching it, I was, as I said, I was surprised in some scenes. I was surprised with the villains because they killed like the hostages. And I was not expecting that. I was really not expecting that. But you know, the villains are an interesting part. They're actually the most interesting part, even though I have a little problem with how the villains are portrayed as lesbians, or at least women who like other women, and they're very sexual. And then we have Honey, who is our main heroine, and she seems to be, I don't know if she can be called a lesbian or a girl who likes other girls. I mean, she can be bisexual, pansexual, or because she seems to have a relationship with her friend, Nachan. And it also seems to me that she and Nachan are in more of a pure relationship compared to the villains who are more sexual towards each other, and we have like this desire blooming over the villains more than with Honey and her friend. And I don't really like that the villains are portrayed as lustful and the good guys, the good girls are portrayed as more innocent. I think that this is a trope that needs to be over. And Cutie Honey has a chance of, you know, becoming more fresh and becoming more current, right? It feels current, but those things, if they're on the original, they can be overlooked and they can be changed a little bit. And so I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the villains are the most interesting part, but I don't really think I like this stereotype that much. And there was one last thing. Oh yeah, one of the girls that are like a fan of the main villain, that I forgot the name, obviously, she ends up being punished for her desire and being punished for her love, for the love that she feels for the main villain. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really know. Anyways, jumping on to the next one, I want to talk about Binan, Koukou, Boueibu, Chikyuu Love. Did I get this name right? I don't think so. But it's Binan Koukou Happy Kiss, the third season of our dear Shower Boys. But this time around, we have new characters. And I just want to say that I'm so happy after watching the first episode. It got its freshness back, because I didn't really like the second season of Boueibu. But now this one, it seems that at least it started with the right foot, and I think that it's gonna be an amazing season. I'm pretty sure of it. We have new boys, we have a new team, but I think the dynamic is more or less the same. We have the boys who are part of the defense club, and they spend a lot of time talking about useless stuff, just like our dear boys of the first and second seasons of Boueibu that we love so much. And they spend lots of time talking about nonsense, they spend lots of time talking about stupid things, and the dialogues sometimes they feel very intelligent. And there was a dialogue about the past Boueibu group that was golden. I loved it so much. I really, really loved it. And I felt like, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe you guys are doing this. You know, I was so happy with that moment. You guys have no idea. Another thing that I really liked was their visuals. I think that now their costumes are way better looking than the first ones. I don't know, they look more magical. And I also like that the main character this time is lazy, he's more quiet, and you know, we're not gonna have this hyper energetic protagonist, and that's a good thing actually. That's a very good thing. The transformations are very beautiful as well. I still haven't gotten up to their names, but I really like their magical names, especially when you have like Nevikis. Neve means Yuki, snow in Portuguese, and it probably means snow in other languages too. And you know, I feel like we have Lunakis, we have like another one that means space kiss. I don't remember his name. And I think I like those themes. I particularly like that Boueibu always has those different names. I'm sorry, I have to stop. Sorry, I'm back. And Boueibu has those different names for the warriors, and that feels very nice. And so I liked their powers. I want to see their individual powers a little bit more, but I am hooked for another Boueibu season. The comedy was nice, it was on point, and it was good because I am talking about myself, and I am not a fan of comedy. I'm not a very big fan of comedy. So now let's get on to the last show that I want to talk about. It's Persona 5, the animation. I just want to say that I haven't finished the game yet, so I am a little on the fence on watching this, but I think I'm going to be able to finish the game before the anime catches up to where I am. But I think that the game has lots of good points, and all those good points were translated into the anime, and I really liked it. It felt very very true to the game while being an adaptation, an animation, you know, while feeling like an adaptation, not a simple translation to one media to another. And there's a strange thing because Joker, the main character, he doesn't speak in the game, and so he doesn't really have a set personality. He's not really a character that you can say that is developed upon, because you can choose kind of like which personality that he's gonna have, which characters he's gonna have relationships with, You can choose his answers. And so when you translate this character to an anime, you have to give him a set personality, you have to give him a voice, you have to give him a name. And I think that this brings a new experience. And I think that this is gonna be good. I don't know how they're gonna translate Joker to the anime, but he feels very different from what I envisioned Joker while I am playing the game. He feels different already for me. That's a bad thing. Obviously, it's not a bad thing, but he feels different, and that's nice because, you know, I think that the game tries to make you feel like you were Joker. I never felt like I was Joker, obviously, but I can kind of like give directions to the type of character that I want him to be in the game, while in the anime there's not this possibility. And apart from that, I feel like the anime had lots of good visuals. It had lots of relationships and callbacks to the game, lots of visuals from the game, lots of songs from the game. We had some cameos from some characters from the game that I don't even know if they're going to be part of the anime itself. But it felt very nice. I loved it. The visual part, stunning. The animation was stunning. I really liked it. And I have lots of problems with the game and with the story of the game, and I'm probably going to talk about them while the anime airs, but I feel like the good points were all there, and so I think we're on to a great experience throughout Persona. Guys, that was it. Sorry, this video is obviously gonna be longer than usual, even though my videos are quite long, I know. Because I am going to talk about those 5 shows. I don't know if I'm gonna follow them until the end. Right now, I'm a little on the fence on following Cutie Honey universe. I'm a little on the fence on Cutie Honey, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna follow all the other 4 until the end. Maybe I'll keep following Cutie Honey as well, I don't know. And I think that's all. Please leave a comment with your views on any of those anime that I talked about, and well, see you next week with more. And I must say that Tokyo Ghoul is like stealing my heart, and Boueibu is also stealing my heart, and Wixoss is also stealing my heart. Those 3 are top notch for me. But anyway, I think that's all. Let me just stop talking. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.